And welcome to part 3 of Realizations, Decisions, and Actions. Spotting for film. Now we get into some dramatic theory. So first, a quick little recap. We want to look at narrative layers and the points of view of the story, and that's whose point of view is the story from, who's the narrator or the implied narrator, who's the audience, is the narrator reliable, and whose story is it? These things are not necessarily relevant to every film or drama that we might be scoring, but they're things that are just generally important to know or to have a grasp on. Also, we are very concerned with the narrative layers and the chronology of the story. So we want to know what the original sort of historical chronological order of the story is and what the order that the story is told. So any flashbacks or flash forwards, and also any changes in place or scene changes. These are all critical concepts that we need to understand in order to score music for a drama, in order to enhance that drama. Next step is to look at realizations, decisions, and actions. Realizations, decisions, and actions are a way that I've broken down scenes internally. This is part of what I'm calling dramatic understanding. It's related to Stanislavski's bits, which he uses in his writings. It's much more specific that there are these 3 kinds of bits, or what are frequently mistranslated as beats, in scenes. Realizations, decisions, and actions. Now, the realizations can be a realization that a character has, or it can be a reveal or a realization that the audience has. So let us go and look at this scene just so we can get a feel of it one last time before we really start to dig into it.
Hey.
Who is that?
It's my mother.
You miss her?
Yeah.
Grief.
I think so. I didn't really know her. My dad and the captain told me a lot about her, though.
What happened?
Well, after the ship crashed here on this planet.
Do you remember that?
I mean, I was too little. What about your mom? Oh God, that was stupid. You're an android. Sorry, I just forget sometimes. It's just...
I am very lucky.
Why? That you don't have any family?
No. To know I am an android.
How would you not know that?
After a reset, it takes a while to understand things.
Like time?
Like time. And where you are. And how long you've been there.
I feel like that all of the time.
You and I have much in common.
which is really funny with you being a combat android and all. Well, it doesn't matter. You're one of us now.
When they die, I will grieve with you.
All right, so let's put some spotting markers in here. Now, we know that we're thinking about realizations, decisions, and actions. So we're going to take a little piece of this, and we're going to see Mandy here, our Delta, our character closest to us, is going to give us one of each. That does not happen in every scene, that you get a realization, a decision, and action. You usually get at least one in most scenes. So let's see what we have here.
What about your mom? Oh god, that was stupid. You're an android. Sorry, I just forget sometimes. It's just...
I am very lucky.
Why? That you don't have any family?
No.
So that realization, decision, and action are three different places that I decided while looking at this scene. Obviously, opinions might differ about where exactly one could put realizations, decisions, and actions, or even if there are particular realizations, decisions, and actions in the scene, and then again, if those need to be marked or underlined with music. But also, I have created a simple music cue that we can use as a marker or an underliner. It's not necessarily a good music cue, it's just a music cue. It's not something I would necessarily agree with, but it tells us very different things when we just put it in the edit to see what it'll do. So let's see first what happens when we use it for underlining the realization that Delta makes here.
What about your mom? Oh god, that was stupid. You're an android. Sorry, I just forget sometimes. It's just...
I am very lucky.
Why? That you don't have any family?
No.
So the question there is, what does that mean in the scene when we underline the realization of hers? How does that further the meaning? What does it make you feel like she's doing? So what does this tell us? Well, that's really up to you. I'm not going to tell you. Instead, we're just going to look at a couple other potential choices, and they're here for you to think about. So now let's take a look at what happens if we mark the decision.
What about your mom? Oh god, that was stupid. You're an android. Sorry, I just forget sometimes. It's just...
I am very lucky.
Why? That you don't have any family?
No.
All right, so that, I think you'll find, makes it feel very different than the way that it felt when we were underlining the realization. So, same cue, underlining the action.
What about your mom? Oh God, that was stupid. You're an android. Sorry, I just forget sometimes. It's just...
I am very lucky.
Why? That you don't have any family?
No.
So what's the conclusion here? Should we mark the realization, the decision, the action? Well, I'm actually not going to tell you. This webinar is about creating a structure or a framework for spotting music for picture. Not actually coming up with a solid answer. That's your job, actually. But it is a way to think about and to consider how music can be spotted. Just reminding you that we're using a narrative analysis, perspective, changes in perspective, and narrative level changes. And we're using a dramatic analysis, which in our case is realizations, decisions, and actions. And I hope that that's helpful. And I hope that that's very helpful to you. Or if it's not helpful to you, then I hope that it's specifically not helpful to you in a way that you can synthesize something that is helpful to you. And I wish you the best on your music spotting journey.